The Monaco Grand Prix is supposed to be the crown jewel of Formula One, but this weekend it turned into an absolute penalty fest that left drivers heartbroken, teams furious, and the FIA facing a massive backlash. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to talk about the absolute chaos that unfolded at the 2026 Monaco Grand Prix. We saw 7 retirements, a red flag, and a podium that was decided in the steward's room. But the biggest story of the weekend was the bizarre wave of pit lane speeding penalties that completely ruined the races of George Russell and Pierre Gasly. We are going to break down exactly what happened, why a tiny software glitch cost Russell 13 positions, and why Alpine is now officially protesting the race result after Gasly claimed he was robbed of a podium. Let's get into it. To understand the chaos, we first need to look at the strange technical reason behind the penalties. During the race, 5 drivers, Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, Pierre Gasly, Oscar Piastri, and Franco Colapinto, were all handed 5 second-time penalties for speeding in the pit lane. This was not just a race day issue either. During practice, 4 drivers, including Russell, Kimi Antonelli, Alex Albon, and Fernando Alonso, were also penalized for speeding by 0.5 kilometers per hour or less. But here is the crazy part. Almost all of them were caught going just 0.1 kilometers per hour over the 60 kilometers per hour limit. Gasly even got a second penalty for being 0.4 kilometers per hour over the limit while driving behind the safety car. When you are talking about margins that small, it is rarely a case of a driver simply forgetting to press the pit limiter button. Something else was going on. So, how did 5 different drivers from different teams all make the exact same tiny mistake? The answer lies in the layout of the Monaco pit lane and how the FIA measures speed. Unlike a speed camera on the highway, the FIA uses electronic timing loops embedded in the track. The system calculates a car's speed based on the time it takes to travel between these loops. This year, the Cadillac garage was positioned at the end of the pit lane, and the area around it was slightly more open than usual. This invited drivers to cut across the white line that marks the fast lane. By cutting the line, the drivers slightly shortened the distance they traveled between the timing loops because the system assumes a fixed distance. Covering a shorter distance in the same amount of time makes the system think the car is going faster than it actually is. So, a car traveling at exactly 60 kilometers per hour would trigger the system as going fractionally over the limit. It is a bizarre quirk of the regulations. The rules allow drivers to cut the line, but doing so messes with the electronic timing. It is understood that this issue was discussed between the teams and the FIA during the weekend, and some drivers were even warned before the race to be careful of their positioning down the pit lane. Alex Albon was warned late in the Grand Prix that several drivers were getting penalties related to cutting the line around the Cadillac area. This tiny miscalculation had massive consequences, especially for George Russell. Russell was running a strong 4th and had just undercut the Red Bull of Isaac Hadjar. He was driving a brilliant race, managing his tires and keeping the pressure on the cars ahead. But then the safety car came out after Lance Stroll crashed at the final corner. Mercedes called Russell in for a pit stop, intending for him to serve his 5-second penalty. However, under Formula One rules, mechanics cannot touch the car until the full 5 seconds have passed. In the chaos of a double-stacked pit stop, the Mercedes crew began working on Russell's car too early. Because the penalty was not served correctly, the stewards handed Russell a drive-through penalty. To make matters worse, the race was red-flagged because Charles Leclerc crashed at the exact same corner as Stroll. When the race restarted, the field was bunched up. Russell had to serve his drive-through penalty under green flag conditions, which dropped him all the way down to 13th place. After the race, Russell was visibly angry. He told reporters, "I am beyond frustrated now and just struggling to comprehend how the season is panning out. The team said there was nothing I did wrong with the speeding in the pit lane. It was a software issue. I probably gained 0.1 of a second in the pit lane with that software glitch, but ended up losing 13 positions." Russell also explained the confusion during the pit stop, saying he asked the team if he was stopping, but didn't get an answer. And then everything happened so quickly. He even offered to serve the penalty on the next lap as he had a 2-0-second gap to Gasly behind him, but the rules are strict. But if Russell was frustrated, Pierre Gasly was absolutely devastated. Gasly drove a brilliant race for Alpine and crossed the finish line in 3rd place. It would have been his first podium of the season and a massive result for the team, especially after a difficult start to the year. "Honestly, I'm just heartbroken," he said. "It's 10 years I've been working my ass off for this type of moment. We did everything right today." Standing on that podium in front of all the fans that turned up, this is the type of moment that for me can't be taken away from us by unfair reasons. What's going on right now is not right? Gasly insisted that his pit limiter was set correctly and that he engaged it well before the line. He went as far as to say he was robbed of the podium. I know as well for a fact that what's said in the car is below the 60 kilometers per hour, Gasly explained. That's probably the most simple setting you can put in a Formula One car. When you have 3 or 4 teams that get caught for speeding, hopefully it brings about the guys that need to check exactly what's going on, because it's just not right. Alpine agreed with their driver and immediately took action. The team released a statement confirming they have requested a right of review from the FIA regarding the penalties. For a right of review to be successful, Alpine must present new, significant, and relevant evidence that was not available to the stewards at the time of the decision. Providing such evidence would only lead to the penalty being reviewed, rather than guarantee it would be overturned. It is a high bar to clear, but it shows just how strongly the team feels that the penalty system was flawed in Monaco. While Gasly lost his podium, Isaac Hadjar inherited it. The Red Bull driver crossed the line 4th, but was promoted to 3rd after Gasly's penalties were applied. It was a chaotic race for Hadjar, who had earlier panicked over the radio about an engine issue, reporting a loss of power and feeling like something was going to explode. Despite the mechanical gremlins, he managed to keep the car running. However, Hadjar's podium was also under threat. He was investigated by the stewards for a potential red flag infringement during the red flag period. There was confusion about the order of the cars, and Hadjar had dropped behind Russell and Gasly. Fortunately for Hadjar and Red Bull, the stewards reviewed the evidence and decided that no further action was necessary. Hadjar kept his 3rd-place finish, marking his first ever Formula One podium in a race where his teammate Max Verstappen retired on the very first lap with an anti-stall issue. It was a bittersweet day for Red Bull, but a massive milestone for the young Frenchman. The penalty chaos did not stop there. Sergio Perez, driving for Cadillac, thought he had secured the American team's first ever Formula One points finish. But after the race, Perez was handed a 1-0 second-time penalty for a false start. When the race restarted after the red flag, Perez mistakenly lined up in the empty grid slot left by Gabriel Bortolito, who had started from the pit lane. This gave Perez an illegal 2-place advantage. The penalty dropped him to the back of the finishing order, wiping out Cadillac's historic moment. The 2026 Monaco Grand Prix will be remembered for Kimi Antonelli's dominant victory, but it will also be remembered as a race defined by the stewards' room. The pit lane speeding controversy has raised serious questions about how the FIA measures speed and whether the punishment truly fits the crime when the margins are so incredibly small. If Alpine's right of review is successful, it could force the FIA to rethink their entire approach to pit lane monitoring. But for now, George Russell and Pierre Gasly are left wondering what could have been. While Isaac Hadjar celebrates a podium he didn't even know he had won when he crossed the line. What do you guys think? Were the penalties fair because rules are rules? Or should the FIA use common sense when a driver is only 0.1 kilometers per hour over the limit due to a track layout issue? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more Formula One analysis. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.